is Sharon Tenen, and this is Help for the Help. And today we're going to talk about cleaning and personal hygiene. Now, as a person gets older, their skin gets thinner, and I talked about in one of the earlier videos that protein is the only thing that truly heals the skin. So you have to be gentle with them when you are bathing and showering. Now, you can do like a sponge bath, and many of these are done in the hospital, and just gently take some warm water and wash them. If it's possible, if they're still walking around, a shower would be better. I would take a shower bench, a big shower bench, and I would get behind my father and I would bathe him real good. Whereas my mom, 7 years previously, I would get in the shower with her when she would let me. Now, you need to keep an eye on them when they're in the bathtub or shower. At first, I would walk out of the bathroom so they could have some privacy. But then what I was discovering was they would just stand in the shower. They wouldn't scrub anything. So I would have to be in the bathroom with them. Now, elderly people tend to be modest. They're realizing that they're losing their privacy. It's kind of intimate when you start to bathe. Like my father, for the longest, I could not wash his front area, so I would hand him something to wash. But he didn't mind me washing the backside. And then when it got to many elderly only need 1 to 2 showers a week, but you still got to clean, especially if they're urinating a lot. They need to wipe that area. It's very important, especially for a woman, that you wipe from front to back so she doesn't get a lot of UTIs, the urinary tract infections. But what I found, my husband went on a camping trip, and he went near the Appalachians, and he couldn't take a bath or shower, so I got these for him and his buddies, and they're called dude wipes. And then this is instead of a bath. And now a lot of hospitals are using these. Now, these can get costly, but these are great as a supplement cleaning. I also washing their hair. Now, keep in mind, a lot of times their hair has thinned and their scalp, you've got to be gentle. You don't want to wash it every week. There's no need to wash it every week. And I bought this. It's dry shampoo in a can, and it smelled so good. And when my father's hair laid really flat, it would just fluff it up. And so I got this. It's very important that you keep the feet clean and between the toes and their nails. And we would take Daddy for some pedicures, but my mother couldn't stand to have her feet touched, so that was harder. I got her one of those little foot bubblers, massagers, whatever, foot baths, and she would go for that. But she would do her fingernails up until several weeks before her death. She loved taking care of her fingernails, had beautiful fingernails. As far as Daddy went, my daughter was a nurse, and she'd come in and do his toenails or his fingernails, or we went to get the pedicure. I would do his fingernails, but you have to be very careful. Not just anybody. They've got to be still. You've got to have had some practice. You don't want them to have a hangnail. You don't want to cut it to the quick. And then for his feet, I would also, and I need these now, like the hospital socks with the skids on the bottom. They sell these socks. They sell these socks at Walmart. Not this kind, but they have on the bottom so you don't slip and fall. It is very important to protect their feet. Things like my father opened the front door and took a toenail off because he just opened that door so quick. So there's so many things. Get some bedroom slippers, get some sock slippers. Keep them as clean as you can, at least help them to smell good. You don't want them to go 3 or 4 months without a bath or shower, because then what you have is a buildup of grime. You can get bacteria or germs or all kinds of things, so they've got to be cleaned. I would suggest at least once a week. Now, one of the hardest things to do for me was bribery. Now, I know of a woman that offered her mother a little glass of wine if she'd get in the shower, and that still works. And what Daddy wanted me to do before he would shower was to watch a James Bond movie. So you're looking at an hour and a half, this Granddaddy Who story. Hour and a half, I'd have to sit there and watch James Bond before he'd go get into the shower. And it was the only James Bond, recently, it was the only James Bond where the girl died. He had given up being 007, and then she dies. And I'm sitting there boo-hooing, and then I get them in the shower. So bribery can work. It just depends on what you have to use to bribe them with. Another thing I wanted to mention, and this may not have anything to do with hygiene, but I just found this cleaning up, was a special cushion for them to sit on, because remember we talked about bed sores they could get, and you want to provide as most comfort to the skin as you possibly can. And this was inexpensive, but always put it in the rollator or on the couch cushions. So make sure, because see, they're losing a lot of body fat in here, and the skin is getting thinner, so you don't want them to get any kind of bed sores or any kind of sores. It's hard to heal. But if you have any suggestions, helpful suggestions, like, oh, they need the handicap bars in the shower. There are two kinds. One uses suction cups. The problem with that is every time you go to put them in the shower tub, you need to check the bars and shake them and make sure the suction cup hadn't come loose, or they could fall and really hurt themselves. The other one is to permanently install the bars and the rods so they can hold themselves up and grab hold of anything. But if you have any other suggestions or wisdom, please feel free to add it about bathing and hygiene, to add it to this portion. Keep in mind that when they go take a bath or a shower, that when they get out, they're going to be very cold, much more so than you and I if we got out of the shower. So try to find them a nice fluffy robe that they can put on afterward. And you're going to see a picture of my father. When he got out, he went and took his wife's fluffy robe instead of one of his thin manly robes. But thank you again for watching, and we will see you soon. Remember to leave any advice or wisdom or questions, and I thank you.